One, two, three, testing. One, two, three, testing. Hello, my lovelies. Good evening to you all. You're probably in bed by now, and I'm just cranking up. Ooh, 11:37 p.m. So, today has been so heavy spiritually and consequently emotionally. And this whole spiritual awakening ordeal and the Lord exposing me to things and showing me things and downloading things to my spirit and me getting things intuitively. Um, it's just blowing my mind. I'm going to have to write things down because when it hits me like it did earlier, it is so heavy. I just have to turn off and go pray or go worship or turn on some music and just dance around. That's how I recharge and that's how I release. Um, but like I said before, well, first of all, let me just say that these videos are not in order. They're not in date order. They're just random. I've just been recording, for the past month, I guess, maybe the past couple of months, and haven't. I uploaded my first video today. I think it came through, but I think some other stuff came along with it that I hadn't intended, like some videos that I came across and that I subscribed to the channel or, gave it a thumbs up or whatever. And so I think all that stuff is on my YouTube channel. So a lot of it I wanted to share with you all. So, have at it. Um, and some of it just random stuff. So, take what you like and leave the rest. But um, two things that I wanted to share. I'm here to out bad behavior, to slay demons, to help people, and to share my spiritual awakening experience um, and my Charlotte's Big Adventure, um, so that you can relate and know that we're all in this together and we all have a job to do. Everybody's role is different, and the Lord has chosen me to do this right now. So, at this period in my life and the things that I have come through, especially in the last 7 years or 7.5 years, um, is really what I'm supposed to be sharing with you as well. And that is like someone else's horrifically demonic abusive behavior. So I've made some videos showing things and walking through things and saying things in the heat of the moment or whatever. And so those will be uploaded. But right now, what I was experiencing earlier um, was two things that I want to share about how we've been deceived and how we've been lied to and manipulated and miseducated and not educated um, about things on a deeper spiritual level that is, has affected all of us as human beings. And that is to say, for everyone who is not in that 1% of the folks in their ivory towers. Okay, and flushing their crap, down the sewer pipes, and that's what we get, whatever's left over. Sort of like, the slop being fed to the pigs. And they're so accustomed to eating it that they don't know the difference. And so I kind of feel like that's where we are in this world today. But people are waking up, and for so many of us, it is our job to help with that awakening process and share what we know, what I'm learning so far in my spiritual awakening process. I'm, sharing it with you, but I've kind of been guided along this process. I'm looking at my dad's picture, and he's got this big old cheesy grin on his face. I love you and I miss you. That's my sugar babe. God, I miss that man. He's the best man ever. I'm telling you, they just don't come any better than that, as a husband and a father. Anyway, um, maybe I'll read his obituary program that I wrote back in 2015. One day I'll share that with you, maybe. But so yeah, we've been eating slop and grown accustomed to it, and that is not what the Lord, our Creator, intended for us. He created us in His image, and we deserve the best, and we should have the best. Um, and we're not getting it because it's being hoarded and uh, what's another word? Hoarded and hidden and covered up. All the things that allow us as being created in God's image to have access to spiritual knowledge, um, knowledge about our physical being, our physical makeup that allows us to have that closer bond with our Creator, which in turn gives us more power and more authority and less poverty and less degradation and oppression and humiliation and all this other stuff. So, not only people, but organizations and companies and corporations. Um, oh, you guys have to forgive me. I have to go inward to my inner child to release some of this garbage. But I like to play dress up. I like to have fun, and I'm creative. So who knows what I'm gonna say? I don't even know what I'm gonna say. Whatever the Lord wants me to say, and whatever He puts on my spirit. Um, and I don't know what I'm gonna do either. I surprise myself all the time. So, like I said, you're in the passenger seat along for the ride with Charlotte's big adventure for a spiritual awakening and outing bad behavior and learning as I go and discovering more about myself and what the Lord is exposing me to about myself that I was not aware of, or, the things that are changing or whatever. But so back to the two things that were just an example, very, very, very small example, minute example of how we've been lied to and deceived. Well, no, I think I have three. Uh, but the first two are, we were told, and I don't know about you, uh, but my story was taught, you know, at an early age. It's what you call indoctrination and brainwashing, trickery, manipulation, or whatever, false education, miseducation. Um, Two things that I grew up believing. because that's what was, driven into me. Um, can't say exactly by whom, but just you learn things as you grow up in this society, right? One of them was that the Black Panthers were like this horrible militant group. Um, excuse me, machine guns and dashikis and afros and afro sheen and afro clean, afro fluid and afro do it, all this other stuff. But I knew at a young age that these were people um, that were basically, probably, I guess, kind of what I'm doing right now is, standing up against bad behavior and wrongdoing and mistreatment of the people that aren't being looked after. Um, so in the case of the Black Panthers, it was black people. Um, right now, my focus is, people are that don't have enough to eat, don't have a roof over their heads, don't have, you know, decent clothes to wear or warm clothes to wear or shoes or whatever. People are in lack, and it should not be the case, especially children that have no way of defending themselves. So that's where my heart is in, taking care of people that can't do, better for themselves. Not that I am, some great, you know, go save the world kind of individual and I'm in a position to do that or anything, but that's where my heart is, and that's what I'm aiming to do, and the things that I'm working on are, going to be eventually financially lucrative. And the Lord's going to bless me and make it tremendously financially lucrative, and I'm giving it all away. And He's going to continue to bless me with more because He knows that's exactly what I'm going to do and what He wants me to do. Um, because I don't need much. I've never been materialistic. You know, um, don't get me wrong though. I love nice things, and but I've never been one for just blowing money on material things. Once in a while I would treat myself to something. And over a period of time, I accumulated a lot of stuff, um, which I no longer have, by the way. That's another story. My Job story. Job, God's man in the Bible. I have to remember that. Maybe I should make a note real quick. Well, I shouldn't forget that because that's like major. It's funny too. Job. Okay. Um, yeah, it's real funny. Uh, but so that's where my heart is, and it's global. It's a global mission, and the Lord's gonna carry me through it and direct me, and give me the resources and the ideas and creativity, which I have so many. Um, it's a gold mine. I'm telling you, it's a gold mine. Um, well, it's a gold mine. I'm a gold mine. I have a gold mine. Um, but anyway, it's coming. My abundance is coming, and I'm coming to help those who are less fortunate. Um, I see how expensive things are in the grocery store, and it's just ridiculous. And what we're what we're purchasing, half of it is just not even right. And I don't even have the stomach anymore for a lot of different foods. I really don't. Um, but that's another story. So the Black Panthers, and I found very recently Even though, like I said, as a young child, I knew what they were doing was a good thing, but you were still, this is the impression that they were feeding, to society. Uh, is that they were this horribly bad militant group, but I knew differently. But there was still, you know, that indoctrination that you were being fed that causes that caused some type of fear, like even if you walk in front of their you know okay, must be a neighbor knocking on something because I know nobody's outside my window on this floor. I hope not, or on my patio knocking on the door. Come on, don't do that now. I'm already dealing with this demon that I know wants to take my life. But another story. Um, the manager here of my apartment unit, um, my narcissist, malignant narcissist, psychopath, sociopath. And you're going to hear me say that often because that is the case. And that's been my 7.5 year experience here that I will be sharing. And the Lord told me to sit on it all this time, not reacting to anything, didn't share it outside of a small circle of family members. Um, but now the cat's out of the bag. The Lord has let go of the reins. He said, expose, expose, expose. I don't like that. Let me pause. I know Satan trying to distract me, but I'll be back in a second.